Hi, my name is Sam Harris. I'm a BCBA, a board certified behavior analyst. I'd like to talk for a couple minutes today about using ABA to serve teenagers, whether it's an autism diagnosis or something else, or multiple diagnoses. There's a shortage of information I find on the internet looking for how to use ABA to serve the needs of teenagers. If you Google ABA, typically you're going to see pictures of toddlers being helped. You're going to find a lot of good blogs. You're going to find lots of really nice material for toddlers. And that's good. That's good and important work. However, if you are looking for help with your teenager in your group home or in your home, you're going to find it harder to find material. And I found that frustrating myself because if ABA is the study of human behavior, then it ought to work on teenagers too, right? Well, of course it does. Yeah, I feel like that's an important demographic that clearly has needs, and we need to be helping, but there's not as much out there to learn if you're trying to learn and pick up ideas. There are, of course, some differences serving teenagers. The maladaptive behaviors that you might be facing in that situation might be more extreme because they've had more years, they've had that learning history to reach this point. And also, they're more complex humans at 17 than at 4. That's just how people work. Um, you might find it more difficult to get ABA help. If you are looking for ABA assistance for a newly diagnosed 2 year old, it's going to be easier to find than if it's with a 17-year-old. So that's going to mean more footwork on your part. Or if you're lucky, you have a good case manager and they can do a lot of that work and bring those things about because it is tough to get that assistance. Um, and their size brings with it certain differences. Like if you have a young kiddo with physical aggression in public, it's distressing, it's embarrassing. But if you have a teenager with physical aggression in public, the police might be involved. Somebody might get injured. Either they might get hurt unintentionally, or you might get hurt. And so it's a higher level of severity, a higher level of need and urgency because every year that goes past, they're getting bigger and stronger and faster. And I don't know about you, but I'm not. Every year that goes past, I'm getting a little bit slower, and I'm not as good at those physical interventions. And so you want to be able to avoid them. You want to be able to work around them. And also, as you're older, typical teenager behavior, it's harder to make them do anything. If you have a 3 year old who doesn't want to take a bath, really the truth is you can put them under your arm and you can carry them there and you can soap them up. Even if they object, you can make them take a bath. You can't make a 17-year-old brush their teeth. You just can't. And what's worse, they know it. So it's going to take some different approaches. You can't, just brute force is not going to be a tool. It's not going to help. It's not going to get the job done. You cannot compel somebody to do something. You need to work with them. And we might also sometimes with teenagers be looking at sexually inappropriate behavior. And that's challenging because the public and schools and the police have very little tolerance of that. So that's really the kind of thing we need to get on top of. But there's some advantages too. The truth is, with teenagers, you're more likely to be able to get their buy-in and get them on board by explaining, look, if we do this right, kiddo, your life is going to be better. You're going to have more choices. Your world is going to open up if you can cooperate with. And I tend to be pretty open with teenagers. If they say, you're just trying to change my behavior, I'll say, yeah, actually I am, because I think your life would be better if we could adjust this behavior. And so here's what we're going to do. And I hope you work with me because I think you're going to be happier with how things go and how your life goes. So I work to try to bring them on board with that kind of reasoning when possible. You also are probably thinking of the future differently. If you have a teenager, what I mean is if you typically have a 2 or 3 year old who's diagnosed with autism or any other disability, it has these behavior challenges. You may be asking the question, are they going to speak? Are they going to be able to go to regular school? If you've got a 16, 17-year-old and you're working through these challenges, you're starting to ask the questions. You can see impending adulthood approaching, right, with each year. And so you're asking bigger questions. Where are they going to be able to live? Are they going to be able to get a job? And the truth is, I think that same way. When I am looking at a teenager in front of me, I'm thinking, okay, what are the challenges today, right now, in their life that need help? And also, where are they going to be a year, 3, 5, 10 years from now? What is going to make their life easier? What skills could they gain that is going to make things go smoother for them? What maladaptive behaviors can we adjust and find a better way to address so that they don't see closed doors in front of them. So yeah, there are some differences, but that's not to say it can't be done. Um, ABA, given a good provider, uh, you're gonna see a better chance of progress, and you can see possibilities open in front of you. And you also want to see through that process with a teenager, they feel like it's going well. The teenager, our client that we're working with, should feel like, yeah, I like how this plan's going. This is working for me. All right, because if we do it right, their life gets better, our life gets better, and everybody wins. So that's what we want to see. So if you have any other suggestions of topics I could touch on, or if you have any critiques or anything else, feel free to email me, contact me, and I may be posting some other videos in the future. God bless.